Hello, 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 hello. Let me straighten up, and I think I would have straightened up already, but I actually I did. And straighten up. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and do right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. Is that it? What's the use of trying? What's the use of Oh boy, what a big day. Sports world, guess what? Cleveland for 2021 and Kansas City for 2023 will host the NFL draft. You would say, whoa, whoa, wait a minute, where's 2022? Well, okay, the NFL's leaving that slot open ostensibly for a bigger city. I would think they're probably thinking something like maybe what, Los Angeles or something like that. They would have to think Los Angeles. Now I'm going to say something really heretical given the situation. I think Oakland, Oakland, you heard it, I think Oakland should bid for the NFL draft. You go ahead, laugh it up, furball. I really think Oakland should concoct some type of settlement idea and make the NFL essentially paying for and selecting Oakland as the NFL draft host city as a great kind of, deal. Now, I know hardcore Raider fans are going to go for that. They want blood and everything else. It's an idea. Well, how about this? How about just the NFL giving Oakland an NFL draft and having nothing to do with the court settlement? Regardless, I think Oakland should be an NFL draft host city. It's just me. All right. Now, let me show you the title that you're probably here for. I'm talking because I'm hoping that I'm waiting for some of the regulars to come in and for this to ramp up before I show everybody the skinny, all right? And if you're here and you want to do a little homework about what I'm going to talk about tonight with you, I suggest you look at this link and basically take a look at this link that I'm about to show you, okay? And say, okay, I see what he's getting at. All right, and it's right here. The title of it is Las Vegas Stadium Authority, Games Construction Dates, semicolon, Raiders, PSL revenue for bond debt. All right. And so, I like that Ryan says that Kansas City has great arrowheads. It sounds like a threat, Give us the NFL draft, I will shoot you with our arrowheads. Shock. Just kidding. Anyway, here's the link. All right, here's the title. And then here's the link. Right here. Right here. There's the link. All right, and bam! Have a look at that. And when we ramp up a little bit more, then I'll start. Hey, how cool is it? I saw All in the Family, and then Judge Apatow and Marissa Tomei, who played Edith, both liked and retweeted my tweet saying that Marissa Tomei rocked All in the Family. She did. A lot of you are younger than I am. Some of you are considerably younger than I am. Make it your mission in life to see at least one episode of All in the Family before you do anything else. You've got to see it, okay? You got to see it. But what was played tonight was just outstanding, okay? Now, here's the other deal. I said I was going to wait until I showed you or you got up to a certain number. I changed my mind. I'm going to show it to you right freaking now. I changed my mind. That's right. I called. Is that what it is? Yeah. I called an audible. Okay. I called an audible. And I decided that I will show it to you right now. this is exactly what I'm talking about, okay? This, what I'm about to show you, is the Las Vegas Stadium Authority and Stadco, that's the Raiders, produced schedule. I've showed you this before. See this? Las Vegas Stadium Monthly Report, 2019, February 28th. I mentioned it before. This line is basically what it is. It starts here. It's Design Construction Administration. That's the last thing to stop. When that, you look for that line to end when you're trying to figure out when they're going to finish the stadium, right? Well, there it is. See that? September, bingo. Okay. So I published it, and I also noted that they, being the Las Vegas Stadium Authority and the Raiders, had started out originally with a date of late July, right? Then they quietly moved it to August. Then by November of last year, they started creeping into September. And by February 28th, as you can see, it was mid-September, which means the stadium's not going to be finished until mid-September and then opened after that. And I put that out there on top of the mechanics lien issue, okay? So, not surprisingly, what does the Stadium Authority do but CYA, cover your arse, or CYB, cover your butt. In other words, hey, and see what this is, I can tell you what happened. I put this out there, and then some said, oh, Zinni is wrong, and then somebody else said, well, no, he's actually looking at our documents. So you explain this to me. You all keep saying that Zinni is wrong, but the documents that you have online show what he's talking about. He's not making this up, so talk to us. So it forced them to a fork in the road. And the people on the political side of it were saying, hey, we got to make this thing look good, all right? Hey. And Don Webb was saying, well, why don't we just tell them exactly what's going on? But see, Don Webb is under some pressure from the board to make things look rosy. I can see that like a blind man without a cane. Why do I say that? Because Don Webb, in his stadium reports, which he writes, says, hey, we're wrestling with some issues here that we have to deal with that make meeting these scheduled milestones, and I'm paraphrasing, a challenge. Hey, that's honest, all right? But then he's got to deal with these other folks who are trying to push him and rush him, and you don't do that with a stadium if you want to get it right. But that's the situation that Don Webb is in. I can see that. I really feel sorry for Don Webb because he and I have been in the same room. We exchanged glances. I was going and shaking his hand, but I thought maybe he's going to come to me, and he didn't. I thought, well, gee, okay, I don't want to play games. I'm not here to play games with people. I'm here to report on something and get the news out, right? And that was when I was at the Stadium Authority meeting a year ago during CES. But he seemed like a nice guy to me. I got nothing bad to say about Don Webb. I mean, why bother? Life's short. But I can read that Don Webb is going through a hard time. In fact, speaking of, nothing bad to say, the only people that in this entire situation that really are not the coolest are a good portion of Las Vegas media. Okay, what little there is. Like there's this Danya anchor person with Channel 13, and she was putting out this rosy stuff about the stadium, and I'm saying, hey, why don't you dig deeper rather than just being a cheerleader? And she starts being insulting toward me. And I, in a way that strikes me as institutionally racist. In other words, right off the bat, she sees this black dude on Twitter who's got a lot more Twitter followers than she does, asking her great questions, and instead of having a good, a reasonable and respectful exchange, she makes these insulting tweets, and which I just said, you know what, I gotta block her. She's not coming. She's not approaching me as if she's a mature person. Okay, and I've had a lot of Las Vegas media immature behavior toward me. So, but I will say there are a number of people who are not part of them who are not like that, and they're the technical folks. So it's a situation. It makes for a situation where I can see, as someone, one of the media people who's very good to me. I will not mention their name. Okay. Thank you, Ryan. Ryan says you do great questions as far as fiscal responsibility. Thank you. One of the people whose name I will not mention said that there were, and I've said this before, there were a lot of hands in the cookie jar. A lot of hands, a lot of people involved in this that had no business being involved in it. What this person means to this day, I have no idea. Okay, so anyway, that information was out there, but then they said about changing it. Okay, and what they did was they gamed the construction dates. They, in the latest agenda for this meeting that's tomorrow, the 23rd, really today if you're on the East Coast, in terms of timing, this is what they did. And it's pretty awful, I think. They turned around, rather than saying, hey, you know, we have a problem and we have to extend the time, they went back to the original time. They did this. What they wrote in the New Stadco monthly report for March 20th, and I quote, and I mentioned it in my article, okay? So I'll just read to you what I wrote, because what they wrote is this. I'm gonna read this to you. The Las Vegas Stadium Authority does an interesting job of making the dark look rosy. This blogger has to give it credit for that. What follows is my personal experienced opinion on the recently released, quote, summary report, unquote, prior to the May 23rd scheduled meeting of the Las Vegas Stadium Authority. So as Chris Pine would say, playing Captain Kirk, buckle up. And he did say it just like that. I thought he had a weird voice inflection. I don't know what that was all about, but I digress. At any rate, that was 10 years ago. The Las Vegas Stadium Authority's effort can be summed up in 3 words. Cover your butt, as I've said, and that's the sanitized version. Regular readers will recall that this space pointed to Las Vegas Stadium Authority and Oakland Raiders documents that showed the construction end date was quietly moved back from July to mid-September 2020, and as recently as the report from March 21st, 2019. Well, in the wake of vlog and blog reports from Zenny62 Media, like the one I've showed you before, this new report for the May 23rd, 2019 Las Vegas Stadium Authority meeting has this note, and I quote, the project schedule changed slightly during the reporting period. Substantial completion has been revised back to the original reported July 31st, 2020, with the stadium's opening event now slated for August 16th, 2020. And the Oakland Raiders, and I'm still reading here, and the Oakland Raiders construction manager Don Webb writes this: we continue to work through schedule challenges imposed by delays in the fabrication and erection of major steel in an effort to preserve the substantial completion date of July 31st, 2020. Can you imagine telling your girl, you know, I've got to work through some scheduling challenges because I can't get it up? This is what it sounds like to me. It's like, what? Boy, okay. Oh boy. This is what it sounds like. It sounds like this dude that's just overselling himself to this girl he's trying to woo, and it's like, I can get up, I can. That's what it looked, I'm sorry, anyway. All right, hello. Although the sequencing and durations of the schedule's 22,000 tasks continue to change, the project is on track for an on-time completion. That reads like cover your butt talk for sure, rather than admit what previous reports showed, that they were behind their original schedule. And all this was accompanied by a new bar graph that shows the design administration stops in July again, not mid-September as before. Now take time to digest what I'm telling you, okay? As far back as October 2018, the construction end date was in July. Then November, it was moved towards September. Then by February 28th, as you saw, it was mid-September. Got that? Okay? Now, after record Las Vegas rain delays and rains causing unknown work stoppages, the Las Vegas Stadium Authority now has the idea it can skip over all of that and play a rosy picture that any observer knows is not even close to reality. And folks, I got to show you what they did, because it is just kind of like, it is the biggest, like, WTF. You know, seriously, it's like, you did what? And they did it, all right? They really did. They actually, because of my reporting, and that's, no, 2 and 2 together came up with 4. That's exactly what happened. Because of my reporting, they got heat, and they moved it. And so, I mean, they're so frazzled here. They have two item 6s here. Actually, no, they're supposed to have 3. I take that back. This what I'm referring to is there. Okay, it's supposed to be there. But my point is that in terms of the new Stadco monthly report from March, this is what they did for March. This is hilarious. I'm gonna show you the new chart, different from the old chart. Okay, now keep in mind this chart, all right, is brand new. Hey, unknown radar guy, how you doing? This chart's brand new. All right, so this is all right. Here it is, folks. Take a look at this. Hey, thank you, Ryan. Okay, take a look at this. Design summary, design construction administration, right? So let's scroll down and see where it goes now. All right. Oh no, it stops in July again at the 31st after moving all the way to September. It was here, right? Okay, so we're here, right? So let's just click on over. Let's just take one little click over. Bam. See that? So we went from September all the way back to July, all right? Can you say fix? I can. I just did. Because that's what they did, all right? That's what they did, okay? So here's the thing, all right? They did that, and I said that they were going to do this, I said basically they were going to put this out there, okay? And then some other media organization that then wants me to talk to them or mention their name is going to say, oh, they're on schedule. Here's where that's ridiculously stupid. And here's why I really got them running. I just have to say it straight out, because they're so frazzled and pissed off with what I put out there that they don't even stop to think, all right? It's not a matter of it being on schedule, because if they write that it's on schedule, then what did it mean before, that it was off schedule? So then if it was off schedule then, why did they turn around and report that it was on schedule then? They shifted the schedule. If there were honest brokers in the media that working on this sort of thing, people that said, hey, you know what? We have to tell the truth, okay, about this. We have to tell the truth. Oh, by the way, unknown radar guy, if you're behind, here's the link so you can catch up, because this is what I'm working off of, all right? Here's the link. So you can play catch up. It's right here, all right? Boom. Okay? There you go, all right? So catch up. So at any rate, read that headline, and that's all. Read that headline, okay? Read that headline right there. Click on that link and read that headline, and I'll repost the headline because it's right here. They're gaming. Okay, it's right here. Boom. See that? Boom. Las Vegas Stadium Authority games construction dates. That's what they're doing, is gaming it. Raiders PSO revenue for bond debt, and I'm going to get to that in a second, all right? So, look at, okay, do you see what I'm getting at? They change the dates. And the media folks don't know what they're talking about. So they say, oh, it's on schedule. Well, wait a minute. Are you telling me that it wasn't on schedule? And then wait a minute. It's not the matter that it was on schedule. They keep moving the date. They keep changing the schedule. You see what I'm talking about? They so don't know what they're writing about that they don't know what they're writing. So what they should, in truth, say, hey, they're changing the dates. They're changing the schedule dates again. Because that's the truth. But they don't want to do that. They're bending over backward and just turning backflips to make it look like this thing is okay. It's not okay. It's not okay at all. And, you know, I hope the people doing this don't have some sort of financial stake in this or some sort of quid pro quo, because if they do and it's tied to PSL sales, which might add have gone to record, that's the one good news about this project. But if they're making these promises and they're trying to fix the news to drive PSL sales in the expectation of an opening in 2020, that in and of itself is fraud. Okay? And that's no laughing matter. There's no reason to push this project like this. Not only that, the media seems to behave as if this is a private project. It is not a private project. It is a public project. This was substantially financed by the government of Nevada through Clark County, and it's owned by Clark County via its stadium authority, and by extension because of Dillon's rule, which governs how the state leadership and state government is structured. Because of Dillon's rule, the state of Nevada owns the stadium, okay? That's the situation. So I go on, I report, says the Las Vegas Stadium Authority essentially admits they're moving the date back, but they don't explain why. There's no explanation of why the date was adjusted. It was just changed. And Webb writes, we continue to work through schedule changes imposed by delays. And that points to a problem, pure and simple. And that's not the only area where there's no explanation of an action. Let's take a look at the stadium bond revenue and bond debt picture, okay? And this is where I get to the other part of this. Las Vegas Stadium Authority presents mysterious money source. That's what I'm writing here. See that? Las Vegas Stadium Authority presents mysterious money source. Ooh, okay? Item 12 on the May 23rd Las Vegas Stadium Authority meeting agenda is called Resolution to Augment Fiscal Year 2019 Budget Fund 2960. They're going to add $31 million to the Las Vegas Stadium Authority fund. And it reads like this basically. It says, the source of funds for the augmentation will be provided by unanticipated revenues and unanticipated beginning fund balance. And, well, that sure as heck didn't come from the stadium hotel tax revenue, and we know this for two reasons. One, the difference between what they expect to get and what they're getting is 100. Get this, folks. Listen up. Listen carefully to this. I'm going to show you what I wrote, because this is stunning, all right? The difference is 132,133,028 minus 122,073,915, and that comes to just $59,113, or 0.06%. All right, that's it, okay? And number two, it was because of a giant increase in revenue from the stadium hotel tax. They have told us about it, okay? And I read here, okay? And speaking of which, and this is really the shocker, folks, all right? Okay? Read this with me, okay? The stadium hotel tax revenue report shows a 1% or 0.1% difference between what was expected in total revenue or what 102,073,090 or 915, and what was it received, which was 102,133,028. But when you do the math to check the Stadium Authority's division, you get, see that? 0.057878%. That's 5.78 100ths and not 1/10%, okay? You following me here? I mean, even on these little motherfuckers, they're trying to fudge it to make it look better than it really is. You don't believe me? Hold on a second. Let me show you this, okay? I mean, that's how crazy this is, okay? Look at this, okay? Look at this. Watch this. Okay? It is, let's see here. Where is that? There's that. And looking for, going down here. All right, let's see here. Where are we? Stadium Authority tentative budget. Project status report. Where was that? Oh, authority revenue report. Oh, I believe that's, boom. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so we scroll down here, all right? See this? That's the numbers that I'm talking about. Recognize them. 102, 73, 915. Budget. 102, 133, 028 actual. You see the difference? You see the percentage, right? Okay. Okay, folks, that is not 1/10 of 1%. Okay. 1% would be if this were 1.0, right? They have it at 1/10 of 1%. It's not even close to that. It's not 1/10 of 1%. It's 0.0578 100ths of 1%. What does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means they could have fudged a number here or there, right? To make it look like it was this close. This close, okay? That difference, to make it look like they're in the black and not in the red. You see what I'm getting at? You see what I'm getting at? This is damaging stuff, all right? I have never seen a government organization or a public-private partnership that is bent over backward to tell a story that is, it's not only that it's so far removed from the truth, but they do it thinking that you're stupid, that you're not going to look at the documents, that you're not going to sweat the details. A lot of people today in media think, and government think a lot of commoners are really stupid people, and they act like it. Don't be stupid, all right? I mean, you should be, regardless of where you sit in terms of your opinion about the project, and I have to think that, and I've said it before, the project's exciting if it's done right. Do it right. My message is, you know what? If you're going to do this thing, get it right. If you have a problem, explain the problem. It reads to me like Don Webb is dying to tell the truth, okay? But my point is, sweat the details. Don't rely on how something looks, because you have no idea what to look for. If you had any idea what to look for, you would have seen this. Okay? People here who come to this channel, who have these fake, occasionally, have these fake accounts and fake names and everything else, who, you know, may be representing the Raiders, or maybe representing Clark County, or maybe representing, you know, some fan group that, or whatever. The bottom line is, you don't do anybody any service by participating in a falsehood. If you are truly for this project, you should be for getting it right. I don't care how it looks, because a lot of you have no idea what to look for to begin with, let alone ask questions. If you go into something, you're not asking questions, you say, well, it looks good. What the fuck? You know? I mean, what do you know? Nothing. Why not admit you don't know because you don't want to ask questions? Why not admit, hey, look, You just want to see it get it done. Fine. But my point is, don't put a government organization in jeopardy by allowing it to even have the appearance of creating a falsehood. And that's what's going on. That's what's going on. All right? I'm not done either, okay? I am not done. By any means any means. See if I get any comments here. Hey, Freddie Chavez, how you doing? Ryan Abbott says, Frank News. Unknown Raider Guy, you still confused? Just want to make sure. My job now is to unconfuse Unknown Raider Guy. Have I done that? Let me know. Ryan Abbott says, why are you not a fiscal ambassador? Hey, you know what? Like I said, Mark Davis asked me to come up with a plan back in 2015. I did. I told him I had $2 billion for him. He never once sat down with me. And hey, my point is this. This is my wheelhouse. This is the kind of thing that I've done since I was, jeez Louise. It goes back to 1986. No, 84. Yeah, 84. My first big number crunching project was when I was in undergraduate school at Texas Arlington, and I was really interested in the fiscal impact of defense spending on cities. And that's when that was my first real deep digging job. That was fun. Because I wanted to get over the whole left-right issue of, oh, defense spending is bad, and you know, we need to cut defense spending. Because my thought was, wait a minute, if we cut defense spending, what is defense spending? Well, it really, if you think about it, it's paying people to get a job done, right? Oh, so you're hiring people. Okay, so where does the money go? Well, we figured out that 80% of that money goes to cities and towns. It stays in the United States to begin with, but it goes to cities and towns in various parts of the United States then. Now, do you realize that 90% of your defense dollar goes outside the United States? If that doesn't alarm you, you're part of the problem, okay? It should alarm you that 90% of your defense dollars going outside the United States. So my focus on numbers is not limited to this project by any stretch of the imagination. You need to wake the fuck up and stop fucking around. Get with it. Look at these numbers on anything that you think a government project that taxpayers are paying for, and figure it out. I am all for subsidization of economic development, sports economic development, but do it right. And don't pull the wool over people's eyes. It's not necessary. People will love you if you're authentic. They will not like you if you lie to them. They will not like you if you're not telling the truth. Tell the damn truth. If you're behind, you're behind. So what? I mean, the reason why I'm so animated about this is what I said before. This is being done in your face. Because they think you're stupid. And you're just going to say, oh, the project looks good, and oh, rah, 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 right? And yet all this stuff is happening around it. And, you know, hey, look, let's be honest. Las Vegas doesn't exactly have the greatest track record when it comes to finishing projects. That, as opposed to, you know, you've never seen a building in Chicago that was 70 stories high that was unfinished for, you know, decades. But you have that in Las Vegas. And not only that, you have 5 different examples of buildings that were built and then not finished. And then some of you get on Twitter and say, oh, but in Las Vegas, we do it fast. No, you don't. Las Vegas is the entrepreneur's paradise, which means Las Vegas gives you enough room to screw up on your own, but you better have your own money to dig out of it. Because if you don't, sayonara, baby. That is Las Vegas. And don't tell me otherwise. That is Las Vegas. When it comes to development, Las Vegas is truly the Wild West. And that's where the Raiders went to. Pure out, pure and simple. pure and simple. So, and like I said, I also said I'm not done, right? Juan Ramirez, how you doing? John Akala, how you doing? Listen up, folks. Excuse my cursing tonight, but I felt, hey, all things considered, it was appropriate, all right? Listen up. Okay. Now, I talked to you about that math problem. Additionally, the problem of declines in visitors to Las Vegas hotels continues. Looking at data posted by the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. You see what I'm doing, by the way? I'm only using data that they provide. Looking at data posted by the Las Vegas Stadium Convention and Visitors Authority, the LVCVA, which I have to tell you, has done a fantastic job of building Las Vegas tourism. And again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Steve Hill is a fantastic economic development officer, but that does not mean I'm going to give him a pass for being involved in errors like I point out, or deliberate, what I consider to be deliberate falsehoods in the information reporting. That's what it looks like to me. Show me that I'm wrong. Okay? Show me that I'm wrong. Anyway, the data from the LVCVA shows that after what appeared to be a rebound in visitor counts in January and February, there was a slight drop of 1.4% in March of 2019, this year. But that data from March showed get this folks, a 29.3% drop in convention-related visitors since 2017. And for all that, all that hurts, what does that do? It hurts the revenue that comes in from the stadium hotel tax. Fewer convention-related visitors, or convention-related visitors do what? They stay in hotels, okay? That's what they do. They stay in hotels, all right? In fact, March of 2017 was the only month in the history of Las Vegas Stadium project to top $5 million in stadium hotel tax revenue. Not since that time has the $5 million revenue mark ever been reached, according to Las Vegas Stadium Authority data. Ever. Just March 2017, like that, down. Never reached that again. This decline in per month stadium hotel tax revenue is the opposite of what was promised by consultants to the Southern Nevada Tourism and Infrastructure Committee, the SNTIC, in 2016. And to show you what I mean, I have this handy dandy graph that I lifted from the SNTIC, which, as you can tell right there, okay, it shows, the original chart shows that they're expecting about 48 million in year one, and then would increase to about almost 50 million in year two, and that didn't happen in real life, okay? And they say that's the annual debt service. And the room tax revenue is supposed to be always 1.5 over the annual debt service, all right? But what I want you to do, folks, is all you have to do, and I'm gonna make a chart to put alongside this later in the week to show you how off this is, okay? But all you have to do is go to Las Vegas, the Clark County website, and search for the municipal bond. If you can't find it, I have a link. I'll send it to you, okay? Or I should post it now. But, in fact, I think I'll do that. But my point is that go there, find it, as if you're going to purchase a bond, okay? And what you'll get is a 114-page report on the bond issue, as was written April of last year when it was floated, when $645 million worth of bonds were sold, eventually within, 90 minutes? All right? That document has the debt schedule for the 30-year period. All you have to do is take that number, multiply it times 1.5. That's the number that the revenues need to be able to cover. Those revenues, the stadium hotels tax revenues, must be 1.5 times that debt, the yearly debt. when you take the monthly numbers, or you take those numbers that are coming in and you break them down per month, or even just divide them by year, you compare those stadium tax revenues numbers with the debt, and you know what you're going to find? Times 1.5, the debt is far over the revenue. That's what you're going to find. It starts off at a disadvantage, and as the years go on, it just gets worse. It just gets worse. So there are a lot of questions to ask. Where did the augmenting money come from? Well, they had the debt service reserve of $9 million. There are a lot of questions that a lot of people are not asking. And what's going on is that the situation, is getting worse. It's not getting better, it's getting worse. I thought this year would be the rebound year for Las Vegas and Clark County in terms of its visitor rates. No, it's not happening. You had slight increases in January and February, and then March, again, blip, okay? It's not happening. It's not happening. You have layoffs of people. MGM slicing and dicing people. Robots being installed in key hotels around the Strip. But having said all that, there is good news, all right? And the good news is this. And you know what? The news I'm about to report to you is extremely good news. News of the kind of like, bravo Raiders level. This. Las Vegas Stadium Authority reports better than expected Oakland Raiders PSL sales. And this is what I'm writing, okay? The one bit of massively good news worthy of celebration is that the Oakland Raiders have sold, get this, $284.2 million in personal seat license and luxury suites. That news alone is huge. And because it points to a sound financial future for the Raiders in Las Vegas, and it blows away all skeptical ideas, including for me, okay, that the Raiders could sell seat licenses and luxury suites at the prices they were asking. And while I'm tempted to say, well, let's wait until they're completely paid for, I'm going to jump on what it's a nice bandwagon and say congratulations to the Raiders on this news. I salute you. See, it's done right. They did something right. Okay? That's what I'm saying. All I've said before is, hey, look, if you're going to take the team away from Oakland the way you did, at least give us some shock and awe. At least, say it's because we had this ton of money here, we have all these competent people, and we've got all this figured out. But you don't. And if you don't have it all figured out, don't act like you've got it all figured out when it's obvious you don't. When it's obvious you made a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody. Okay, so back to the good news. And I continue right. It says, it's great news, so great that the Las Vegas Stadium Authority mentions it. So great that since the Las Vegas Stadium Authority points to it, but it doesn't explain where the $31 million unanticipated revenue came from. Could it be that the $31 million was transferred from the PSL revenue? It surely looks like it. And if that's the case, then why not say so? And that leads to two items of cost that's left out of this discussion. The mechanics lien and the parking and off-site infrastructure costs. First, regarding the $278 million mechanics lien that was filed by Merrill Steel, something University called an alarming act pointing to a concern of the steel company's part that it wasn't going to get paid, right? Las Vegas Stadium Authority reports CAA Icon. I don't know what that means because they didn't define it in the report. CAA Icon reports, and I would have to, that might be Grand Canyon, the Grand Canyon reporting people. That's the best guess that I can get. report that the lien for Merrill Steel has been resolved with no fiscal impact to the stadium budget, and that discussions with tab contractors, remember tab contractors, the people that exploded the cliche and basically built the underground utilities on the land and everything, and they said, hey, look, we need more money. We should have been paid more money to deal with this stuff down here, and we weren't. Says those discussions remain ongoing. However, CA Icon anticipates a resolution with no financial impact to the stadium budget. Now, remember, these are all anticipated. This is not set. They don't know. Because no one ever said at all about the change orders. I'm getting that, okay? Staff has requested that Grand Canyon Development Partners, GCDP, continue to monitor the progress of the project with particular attention given to the items outlined above. Okay, but the report doesn't say who or what CA Icon is. Moreover, the report leaves out that the mechanics lien was $278 million and reported almost $100 million in change orders. That said, an amazing bit of crisis management that the Las Vegas Stadium Authority and Raiders were able to resolve such an embarrassing issue with Merrill Steel. And it was embarrassing, okay? Because basically you had Merrill Steel in the picture, in the guise of the contractor saying, you ain't got no money, you better pay me now. Second, there's almost no reporting on parking and infrastructure cost, save for this note. The construction monitor provided a separate analysis of the stadium's off-site infrastructure budget. Again, noting, however, and I quote, the full scope of the off-site infrastructure will be established in the near future. That monitor noted further that should the final cost within the off-site infrastructure budget exceed the budgeted costs, other sources of funds will be needed. In other words, translated, hey, you know what? If there's not enough money there, we got to get some more money from someplace else, guys and gals, okay? That's what they're saying, all right? Have you noticed nobody's talked about the parking in terms of the cost? Early on, when it was like, 30 million and then 100 million people were talking about it, but the minute it went north of 150 million, people stopped talking about it. You stopped hearing about it. Folks, it is way north of that now. Because people seem to have forgotten the transportation study, not just the one that was done by NDOT, which I'll get to in a second, but the Kimmy Horn one. The Kimmy Horn study looked at the streets around the stadium. That was additional streets and roads, not the freeway, but the streets and roads that have to be widened and lighting changed for all of the traffic and all the, drunk Raider patrons are going to be walking around here and there, hopefully not in the dark because you've got great lighting. Right now you don't have great lighting. Just saying, okay? That study pointed to something like 14 blocks around the stadium of streets that need to be refurbished in some kind of way. New traffic control lights, that sort of thing. That's a price tag. And the Regional Transportation Commission had said at one point the Raiders were going to have to pay for all of it. Remember that? That was when Kristen Giuliani was on it. She's not anymore. Are you guys following any of this? Do you have any idea what the frick is really going on? Wake up, will ya? Wake up, pal. All right. Continuing. Okay. For whatever reason, details on off-site parking and parking shuttle transportation system development costs have been consistently eliminated from Las Vegas Stadium reports to date. The Raiders agree to pay for pedestrian bridges, underpasses, and emergency services, but that doesn't even start to include the cost for parking, widening and lightening for streets around the stadium, and other items that total up to $900 million. That was the one that almost killed this thing to begin with. If you were following this and you go back to October 2016, that study was, this is how things work, okay? This is how nasty the things got if you weren't paying attention then. Let me explain, okay? The Nevada Department of Transportation put out this study October 4th of 2016. Now, if you've never seen it, what I'm doing right now is I'm getting the link to it right here. And I'm saying right here like you can see it, but in a few seconds you're going to. and I've just put it, bam, okay? Boom. There is the study. Now, the cost estimates are at the back of it. It's rather long. Okay, so, all right. I'll get to your comments in one moment. Lead back to what I was saying here. Now, in all the focus on the construction of Oakland Raiders and UNLV's Las Vegas Stadium, it seems easy for some to forget that this is an enormous venue that will substantially and significantly alter traffic patterns and volume at the South Strip area of Las Vegas. Remember, this thing's right next to the airport, okay? Pushing back what are giant-sized cost considerations and discussions is like playing with fire. But that's something the Las Vegas Stadium Authority appears to enjoy doing. Stay tuned. And so that's how I ended that article, ended the article that the post that I wrote on Monday. All right, now I'll get to your comments. Let's see here. Clips from cost says stadium looks good, coming together nicely. How do you know? Juan Ramirez says, evening, everyone. John Acala says, hello, everybody. Lisa says, Nathan Perlman has a net worth of about $1 million. He has an opportunity to earn around $75 million under John Gruden's coaching. He's going to take Derek Carr's job. Whatever. And so Lisa says, how much worse than the Las Vegas deal? How much worse is the Las Vegas deal than the Raider deal from '95? Well, let me put it this way. The Raider deal from '95 was only about $200 million. This one is $2 billion. And the hurt can come from a number of different areas. The Raiders may not be able to get enough sponsors. So they can't get enough sponsors. They don't have enough money to pay the bond that they owe into Bank of America, which I might add has been altered. Did you know that? The Bank of America was originally said to provide an $850 million credit facility. But when you look at the stadium, you look at this document, all right? Take a look at this. That's why it's important to read, okay? Take a look at this. Or as they say, would you take a look at this? Take a look at this. Where is that? There's that. There's the revenue report. Let's see here. Quarterly, oh, here it is. Financial report. Come with me under the sea. Now, bang. All right. This is the stadium project funding. Take a look at this, all right? Bank of America Senior Credit Facility. What does that say? Right there. $213.6 million. 35.6% of $600 million budget. $600 million? That was supposed to be 800. First it was supposed to be 850, then it was 650, but now it's just 600 million. 600 million? That's news. That's news. You know what that means? It means we have to recalculate how much money, in terms of sources and uses, is out there. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I mean, that's some scary stuff, folks. You see where I'm going with this, all right? Because, see, now I'm going through and I'm looking for the project budget, and I'm looking for something. I'm looking to see if they have altered this number at any point in time in terms of the budget. And I'm looking at, let's see, that's fire protection steel frame, phased building applications from Mortensen. That's Miss Littlejohn's stuff with community benefits. That's the one area they've done really a fantastic job. Community benefits. Lynn Littlejohn does not play. She gets the job done. She's a consummate professional. This is no reflection on her fantastic work with from Mortensen. Let's see here. Expansion aggregate. All right, I've got to go back here and I will get that, because it's not there. Let's see, it's not there. So where would it be? So I had it here, here. That's monthly revenue. Financial Authority, meetings, revenue report, which we discussed. So I've got to go back and get the budget itself. Resolution to augment budget. Same authority tentative budget is here. That's for the stadium authority. That's not for. Let me see if that includes the Bank of America credit facility. Got this thing all written sideways and all this junk. I'm going to have to do a little work here because what I'm looking for is there's this original project budget document that mentioned for the stadium project itself that referred to like for example, I've got the Clark County Authority bonds, the debt service here, but that does not include, yeah, that's just for the county itself. Okay, yeah, so I've got to find that because we've had all of these conflicting reports now, and they are conflicting about this, okay? And what has been said is, until now, hey, this was a $650 million credit facility. If I type Bank of America, Raiders, Raiders Stadium, okay? What I get is a $650 million secret. That was the Nevada Independent. But look, listen, 650, right? Okay. And Bank of America commits to help. And this was supposed to replace, you don't replace Shell Nadelson. Okay. And they had Las Vegas Sun and everybody else were reporting, like, for example, this one, and if I want it to be really for, oh boy, hey, I just figured out something. Hold on a second, all right? Wait a second, I just figured out what I believe I should still be able to find, all right? And this is fun. This is fun. $750 million public contribution. Okay, now here it mentions a $600 million loan from Bank of America and a $200 million loan from the NFL. So this is the only one that mentions $600 million right here. Okay, now, because it's been $650, there was $850 million. Now let me try something here. That was Las Vegas. That was September 18th of 2018. All right. Now, let's see here. Bank of America, Raiders, NFL Stadium. NFL Stadium. How about P? Hey, Sean Grogan, how you doing? PDF, okay. Okay. Clark County Stadium Authority. So you get Stadium Authority Board meeting. It's the NFL Media Guide. Try Elliot McCabe. Elliot McCabe. Like so. Okay. Got that one. All right. Where's a long to-do list? Inside story. And what I'm looking for is a little known PDF file that Bank of America posted on its credit facility. And that document, ooh, shoot, I just figured out where it's located. Hold on a second. I hope it's still there. The SNTIC meetings. The SNTIC meetings. Hold on a second. Sorry, the SNTIC meetings PDF. Bear with me, folks. Video wall. Bank of America Managing Director. Crash of the Titans. Let me see what this says here. Unless it was taken down, I hope not. That's something I'm going to have to find again. But at the time, Elliot McCabe had given a presentation to the Southern Nevada Tourism and Infrastructure. Okay, so there's only 600 million they're getting from Bank of America. So that's consistent. So that is cemented there. It's 600 million. It's not 650, which is what Adelson was going to put in. Okay, and that could be because they got. That's interesting. McCabe said the Raiders had budgeted 1.8 billion for project costs and 100 million for a practice facility. And he said the bank's negotiations with the team included consideration of the Raiders' $378 million relocation fee. And he says that they have a high level of confidence that the team will be able to meet its obligations. And okay, so it's they told them 600 million, but I saw another document that had 800 million, another one that had 650. This thing's been all over the place. All right, so it's 600 million. So let's do some quick math here. Okay, 600 million there from that. Then you've got 700, really 745 million. Okay, so you start adding up the numbers. They're not where you want them to be. You know, they're not giving you that contingency, that cushion. So this thing is scarily not exactly where you want it to be. All right, it just isn't exactly where you want it to be. The good news is the performance of the PSLs. That's the good news, and the luxury suites. But the bad news is yet to come, and the bad news that's sticking out there more so than any other item of bad news is the parking cost, the parking and infrastructure cost, and that that Kimley Horn study that people seem to have forgotten about. Kimmy Horn, Las Vegas Raiders, like that, and so yeah, Las Vegas NFL Stadium, Kimmy Horn. Kimmy Horn is providing land development services, including transportation planning and civil engineering design services to Las Vegas Stadium. And they wrote a report as well, which one should be able to quickly get if they just simply type Raiders Kimmy Horn in PDF, right? So Kimley Horn, and then quote PDF, boom, that's PDF, untitled review of traffic impact study. I found something really interesting here. And yeah, those are the public comments. Okay, these are the public comments. A review of traffic impact study for Las Vegas Raiders Stadium. That was September 5th of 2017. So this goes way back in this project. Stadium parking review. And I haven't seen any other up-to-date documents since. They've kept everything really close to the vest with this project. However, what I'm looking for is a number. And estimated available spaces. This was old. This was before, yeah. And not only that, the other problem since this study was done, I'm going to kill that. Link. The other problem is this. Ever since 2017, the land cost for Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Strip area has went up. When we first started looking at this and talking about this, the land cost was just north of 1.8 million. Now it's skyrocketed per acre. Now it's skyrocketed to where it's just north of 3 million per acre. And the more the Raiders and company make noise about going out to purchase land for parking, guess what? Because that speculation activity, jacks up the land price even more. Which leads to the other question. Where are they going to get the money to pay for it? So there you go, folks. All right. There is everything you probably didn't want to know about this project. But the request simply is this. Take a cold look at what's presented. Don't try to dress it up as something other than what it is. Enjoy the little victories that are associated with it. For example, that PSL and luxury suite number sales figure estimate, that's a great thing. That's huge. That's something that everybody should be proud of. That, to me, is the major game changer in this entire thing. And it should be a headline. In fact, I'll make it a headline. I'll make it a headline. Because that shows that there is potential in this market for a professional sports team, an NFL team, to do well. And you've got to congratulate Legends and Jerry Jones, because they are responsible for making those sales. They've done a tremendous job. Now and it shows that, hey, if they can do that job, maybe they can pull off some magic in terms of, sponsorship numbers, right? You hope so. Okay? The whole point of this, and I say this, I can't stress it enough, is if you're going to make this kind of ballsy move, you make sure it pays off. And I'm talking about the ballsy move of lying to somebody, which is what's happened in this case with respect to the Raiders not telling the city of Oakland the truth, okay? And let alone, really the NFL, because you had some people in the NFL that didn't want this to happen, and others led by Jerry Jones and Mark Davis who did. So even the league wasn't of one mind on this at all. At all. And, Roger has been placed in the position of having to shield himself from the problems that this fiasco has caused the league, and how it's forced the league to consider gambling as a new revenue source. That's problematic. I don't care what anyone else says. I'm not saying it's not exciting. I've said in this space before, it's very exciting. But you have to make sure the law is on your side. Sports gambling, if implemented correctly, is the instrument that can save this project. Sports gambling, if implemented correctly, is the instrument that can save this project. But it comes with some issues in terms of integrity and problems. That's some at UNLV claim, hey, I'm not a problem or an issue. But there were enough of a concern for the UNLV experts, the professors, to write a over 100-page study on it, saying, hey, look, we figured this out. Okay. So, again, if it's done right, it's exciting. But it's the job of the media to make sure that this thing is done right. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not tough questions. These are questions that come from the documents that these folks put out. Everybody that's working on this project should want to make sure that they're putting out the authentic word about this thing. Because what's happened is if people understand that you're telling the truth, okay? You're giving them a mix of the good and the bad and the ugly, which happens. And the good's the PSL sales. And you're saying, hey, look, we may not open on time, but here's what's going on, and we're going to get to here. Fine. That's why I defend Don Webb here. I think if Don Webb had full control of this, I really believe we would have that kind of reporting. I really do. I think Don is stuck between a political rock and a hard place. That's what it looks like to me. So I'm going to be a Don Webb fan, okay? Because I believe he's stuck in a position that he really, if he had his druthers, he'd redesign. That's just how I look at it after looking at this, okay? There's nothing in terms of from an urban planning standpoint. There are a few things more exciting than what's going on with the stadium in Las Vegas, with its potential. There it is, okay? Just don't screw it up. Get it fucking right. Again, get it fucking right. Anybody else want to add anything before I sign off? You all have been really quiet. Thanks for paying attention. I really appreciate that. But you all are eerily quiet, so I was like, whoa, I've got their attention. Either that or they're all, I mean, I don't know. But much appreciated. So we've got good news out of the NFL tomorrow. I will do a recap of what happened at the NFL owners meeting. Not a lot of press was there because there wasn't a lot of big news, but and I'm glad I took the rest because I've been living my life over the shield, or the shield over my life for all year. I needed just a little bit of a break. Rise Above says thank you. Hey, thank you for that. I really appreciate. Thank you for paying attention. That means a lot to me that people are stopping and absorbing what I'm presenting, because again, I'll say this again, this is an exciting project, man. I know there are people who don't think so. I don't care. I love Vegas, but I hate it when large-scale public projects are misrepresented. There's no reason to do that. And some of you say, well, oh, you're against Oakland. Look, Oakland has lost the will and the initiative to complete big public projects. There's a lot of stuff going on privately, but in terms of public projects, it's been that way for a long time. Okay? Okay? So that's it. That's it. And if my moderators blocked a lot of people, no, my moderators blocked the people that needed to be blocked. I'm looking at a number here that tells me that people are viewing it. Okay? So those folks can say anything that they want to. That's not the case. I don't want anybody here that's coming here just to argue. If you have something of value to add that's of an adult level, you're welcome. All right? You're welcome. But no, I'm not going to unblock anybody that I blocked. Forget it. I don't have time to play with kids. But there are a number of people on here who contributed, who made sensible comments. So the answer is no. Absolutely not. No. All right. So, and then not only that, I have a number of people who are investors, okay, who are not blocked, who are watching right now, and I see them. Okay? So, no. Absolutely not. Not at all. And I like it this way. Okay? So anyway, and not only that, you're a newcomer here. There are no moderators that are active right now. Just saying. It's all electronic. But you know what? That takes away from the main conversation. The main point is this. The Las Vegas Stadium Authority meeting is tomorrow. I will be watching it, and I'll be looking for additional information. Now, you would say, what else is on the agenda? And that's a good question. That is a very good question in terms of, what else is on the agenda. And the answer is, we've got, let's see here, new tab. And Juan Ramirez says, the stadium deal is equally bad as a high-speed rail in California. I don't think it looks quite that bad, but it does have the potential to count in that direction. And Juan Ramirez, I'm glad you chimed in because, hey, there's another one of my regulars that, speaks. Okay, so where are we with, here we go. I'll read to you the full agenda. It's public comment, which I haven't read. Let's see what's coming here. All right, Dave Pike is concerned about an app. That's the only public comment is about an Android app? That's unbelievable. Okay. Okay, what else do we have here? Stadium Authority Board meeting minutes from the last meeting. And I'm not going to go through all of this. I think you have a pretty good idea what went down. The Stadium Authority Revenue Report, Financial Report, Project Status Report, Community Benefits Plan reports for February and March, which are good news, showing that, among other things, the level of minority hiring has been overstated objectives. The Stackholm Monthly Report for February and March, which we talked about. The Reuben Brown Engagement Letter for Accounting Services. Proposed amendment to engagement with Hunter, Andrews, Kurth, and Brownstein, Hyatt, Barber, and Schreck. Say that 3 times real fast. Item 12 is the resolution to augment fiscal year 2019 budget fund 2916, which I discussed. Revision to fiscal year 2019 budget transfer reconciliation schedule, which is related to that. Basically, it's just saying, hey, do we have permission to make this funding shift? Quarterly Economic Survey Report, which is a formality. Stadium Authority tentative fiscal year 20 budget. Stadium Authority proposed final fiscal year 2020 budget. And that's it. Unless some, for now. There's 16 items. They may add something else. And we don't see each other again until July. They skip over another month. Watch the hotel stadium tax numbers like a hawk, because this information's behind by about almost 2 months. Okay, Arcade said, "Hey, Arcade, how you doing?" He says, "Are they streaming the meeting?" I'm going to check. Ostensibly, I'm going to think that they are, but I know that we're supposed to start. In fact, I'm glad you mentioned that, because the start time is a little different for this report than before. It says at 4 o'clock p.m., which is 8 o'clock p.m., okay? 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 8 o'clock Eastern. That's a late start for that meeting. Now, let's see here. Mom Ramirez, I think I answered your question. And Lisa asked, do you think the Oakland A's will get the site at Howard Terminal? Well, they already have it. And when do you think there will be shovels in the ground? Well, they already have the exclusive negotiating agreement. And that was as of last week, Monday. So, oh yeah, that's something that they do. Anyway, but the whole point is that when I think the shovels will be going to ground, hopefully by 2025, they've got to go through the exclusive negotiating period to get to they have to go through this E&A period, and the E&A period, the negotiations and the drawings and other architectural drawings and engineering drawings lead to what's called the due diligence and development agreement period. So when the city signs off on that, what they're doing is they're signing off on the A's ability to build their ballpark. All right. Marquette says, will you stream it? That's my plan. Yeah. Lisa says, I'm driving by the Salesforce Tower right now. It looks like there are pole dancers on the top. Yeah, that's the thing that they do. That's what Mark Benioff has. It's not it's a kind of a trick with the lighting. So there you go. All right. Getting back to see if there's anything else in terms of news I may have missed. Let me see here. So I've got, it's funny how the Las Vegas Sun has went down. How about the Nevada Independent? Nevada Independent. Nevada Independent. Okay. That would be lawmakers advance bill any scheduled payroll tax decrease. Hey, something else important to watch out for with this project is the gambling issue, because if gambling is passed and that becomes a source, what's to stop the state of Nevada from imposing a tax, or Clark County? If the minute they do that, guess what? That invalidates the Raiders' non-relocation agreement. Just saying, okay? So I don't see anything. Hello? Hello? Okay. I don't see anything, folks, that would give me an idea that there's any news on the Nevada Independent about the Raiders. Nothing. So keep an eye on that. Nevada Independent is a great publication. Bill adding Nevada to national popular vote. It's great to follow the politics in Nevada and read John Ralston's blog. All right. Okay, so I don't see any other information here at all. So I will see everybody tomorrow night. And I want to thank everybody for stopping by. The numbers tonight have been fantastic. Woohoo, fantastic, all right?